I am Stan Goldstein with Kates-Boylston Publications. As part of our KB On the Road Live series, we're glad to be joined today by Heather Garman, Vice President Sales and Marketing with Messenger. Heather, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us, Dan. Appreciate it.
All right. Tell us about Messenger. What are the products and services that they offer?
Yeah, well, our core line of products at Messenger is stationery products for funerals. So the register book, the holy cards, prayer cards, memorial folders. We also have an extensive line of promotional products that we offer, as well as any other branded products. So like a presentation folder or bag. In addition to that, in recent years, we also became the exclusive distributor for fingerprint jewelry for Legacy Touch, which has been a really great addition. And then 2 years ago, we partnered up with Express Funeral Funding to offer a great expert service on life insurance claim processing. So.
Right. All right. You and I were talking earlier. Tell me about the history of Messenger and about your team.
Sure. Yeah, Messenger was started long ago, back in 1913, in Chicago, actually. So we were started by a fellow by the name of Frank Messenger. So that's where Messenger comes from.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, and so Frank borrowed some money from friends to start this business, and he was super passionate and wanted to spread the gospel through the distribution of religious calendars. So that's how we got our start. So for many years, we had a member of Frank's family on our team, but we don't have any official messengers left, but we do stay in contact with some of Frank's family, which is pretty cool. And our family here at the home office, as well as in the field, still feels like family. So we have folks that have been with us for 20 or 30 or 40 plus years. So pretty impressive tenure. But here in Auburn, Indiana, we moved to Auburn in the 30s when we bought a greeting card company, and we've been in the same building ever since. So if anyone would ever like to have a tour and a visit in Auburn, Indiana, we welcome you. Home of the Duesenberg in Auburn, Indiana. So little extra tidbit there. But we have about just under 130 folks here in our home office. And then we have 43 members of our sales team across the country, United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico. And so our sales team works with funeral homes in person every day.
Awesome. And how did Messenger shift its products and services during the pandemic to better serve funeral homes?
Whew. Man, last year was a tough year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For our sales team, it was really challenging because that's what they do, is they visit with funeral homes every day. And so that was hard for them to kind of pivot and learn to figure out new ways to communicate. But some of the things that we did to help is we hustled to find some PPE supplies and share that with our funeral home partners for sure. So we were able to leverage some of our buying power to help out in that way. Some of the other things that we did, we knew that so many people were trying to serve families well with some sort of stream service. And so what we could offer in addition to that was to help them find a way to let folks sign into that streamed service. So when the family got home, they understood how many people were supporting them, even if they weren't there in person. And so we quickly were able to create a virtual guest book that people could sign, and then the funeral home or Messenger could print that out so the family would have it and really know how many people came to visit them. And that's one of the most important things about the funeral, is that support that you receive from your family and friends. And we just tried to help emulate that, although it was in a kind of a digital world. So
yeah, it sort of answered a little what my next question was going to be. What did Messenger and you miss the most during the pandemic? And I guess we're still in it. It's still not over yet, but we're getting there.
Absolutely. Kind of tying both questions together, our customer service manager, Linda, her father is a a little bit older fella, but one of the things he does is he goes to funerals. That's just a typical thing that he does. And so I remember her telling me last year that some of his friends had passed away, and what he missed the most was being able to pay his respects and pick up, you know, whether it was that prayer card or that memorial card. And he didn't get his little card that he keeps for every service that he goes to. And so so we were trying to figure out how we could complement that too. And so we also began offering a mailing service. So if the family was only able to have a small service, which happened, we could mail something like this, which is a little bit bigger than a prayer card, out on behalf of the family, so that those extended people who would have shown their support could have shown their support, and that could fit into, you know, a nice thank you card, or just be mailed alone.
And what's following up on that, what's the new products or latest trends that you have noticed? Maybe the pandemic has had an effect on some of those things too, the newest things.
Absolutely. You know, first of all, we have a fantastic product team that's always looking at trends, not just in this space, but in the wedding space and stationery space, because our mission is to make sure that the products that we bring to our funeral home partners are relevant to today's consumer. And whether that consumer is a baby boomer or a millennial, what we know is they want personalization and they want meaning. That personalization could mean something different to those different generations, and that's part of what we need to figure out, is what's going to be meaningful to that 30-year-old versus that 60-year-old. But I think personalization has been and continues to be one of the hottest trends, because people just want to feel that connection to their loved one. And how our goal is to kind of figure out how we can help facilitate that. So another cool story is we have software that anyone could use to print our stationery, and it's cloud-based like many of the softwares out there today. But we heard quite a few cool stories of funeral homes being able to pivot their admin teams to working from home to keep them safe. They would prepare the stationery on our software, and then the funeral director that was on site or on call was able to print it out in the office, so that they could kind of keep their teams in teams and keep them as safe as possible last year. So
Good, excellent. And how may people get in contact with you or with Messenger?
yeah, so folks can visit our website. It's www.messengerstationery.com, and or they can dial our phone number, which is 800-827-5151, or they can contact me directly. I love talking to people. I love feedback. My email address is hgarman, Garman, at messengerllc.com.
Excellent, excellent. All right, Heather, thank you very much for joining us. Really interesting information from Messenger. And I didn't know, I figured the name, you know, Messenger is something to do with a messenger service, which probably most people do. That's interesting.
Right.
Founders, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I just have to say, Stan, on behalf of everyone, thank you. And thank you to Kates-Boylston for doing this, for really thinking outside the box and really continuing to push the envelope. I think, you know, everyone works so hard to kind of adapt and change and really evolve our industry so that we could be the best we can be. So just thanks to you and your team for continuing to push the envelope. We really appreciate it.
All right, thank you. And it's great for me to meet all these different people too in these interviews. So thank you. Heather, thanks again. Have a great day.
You too. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.